just out here having another little play, and I was looking at some of the old stuff. I like to recycle, you see, and I've got these bits I made for this supercharger here, which is no good. These manifolds that I made up, these flanges, and I reckon rather than piss around cutting new bits, I could probably cut that through there, get rid of that flange, and adapt this to, that one's a bit small to be either or either. So adapt these to go on there. It's going to be a bit, let's have a look, let's see what it looks like. There's a breather there. I wonder if I could swap over if I swap these over, cam covers, then that would be over there. That means the oil filler would be at the back of the engine and that breather would be at the front over there. Oh no, there's another breather on that one, so that won't work. Either move that or just make that so it's going to miss it, so I can still get a pipe on there. Oh, look at that. That might work, mightn't it? So I could probably use that, cut that end off and put another elbow to go back down to the intercooler, which is that pipe right there, like that. Be a bit of wiggly aboutable, but that'll work. So I might do that. I might go and get the angle grinder and remove that flange then, and then I can just trim that around to fit. And then when my mate makes me other flanges, he made these ones by the way on his plasma cutter. He built it himself. He's a clever bastard. Anyway, yeah, that there's somewhere like that. I can still get the filler. I reckon that'll work. I reckon it will. And I'll just better patch it in the sides and make it so it all flows. That one. Oh, look at that. Could even do something like that on the back with one of my pipes. Where's the other one? Well, that'd be a result if it could both be recycled, eh? Let's have a look at this little bugger. With a bit of cocking around, that would probably do as well. I want to do that as well, so I shall remove both of those. I was going to sell them with the supercharger because it might make it easier for someone else, but I need them, so bugger them, isn't it? So I'll have a go at that. I shall get a grinder and just cut them off. Sweet as, innit? So that's the bit I want to cut. I'm just going to slice right down there, and then I might just cut straight through there, get rid of that because that's too long. It needs to be a bend. And I've got this other tube here, which has got loads of bends on it, bite like that, which is handy. And I can make some more bits out of that. Hopefully get down to there, connect up to the intercooler and stuff if I've got enough. It's just exhaust. I know it's heavy, but I don't give a shit. So here's our cut bit, and look at it, because I've got the bolt holes there. I'm gonna have to I might have to bring that up to about there like that, so that'll be sitting somewhere like that, so I can still get the oil filler out. And I need to be able to still get to that bolt there and that bolt there, but I can make that, I can fill that in all around the side and make up a nice new phalange, I reckon. So I'll keep that as handy as. Save some money in it. And I'll cut that off of there and I'll just chuck them plates back on that supercharger, so the next person has got at least something to start with. There's that flange, I can have that one, and I'll cut that off. Beautiful. I've just grabbed myself 5 minutes to play in the shed a second. This is a bit of tube I'm going to use for that supercharger. I'm just going to shorten it. I'm going to cut through there and fold that down and shape it so it's still round. And then it's probably going to sit at an angle like that somewhere on top of the supercharger. So I shall get the dangle grinder and I'll just whiz down there See what it comes out like. That's whizzed out. I'll just knockerate it down now, a bit like that. It's pretty good. I'll trim that off. Give it a bit more of a tap to close the gap up and just see what it looks like on the car. I'll do that. Right, so that's manipulated. If I get the TIG welder out, I can tack that together. And then the idea is for that to sit somewhere like that. So I can still get to the breather, I can still get to the oil filler. There's a breather down there. Gives me a bit of clearance. And it still gives me enough room to go wiggle round there and down to that intercoolerator. And then I just got to get some, I think that's 2.5mm plate, and I'll be able to make up box all that in, and making sure I can still get to the bolts and make that a nice shape to clear the HT leads and whatever, and the rocker cover. And we should be in business. And then I'll piss around with the back one. The back one's going to be the intake, so that's going to come probably up and around here somewhere. I may even flatten it. I might make a come up and then overlay it a bit, flatten the pipe off, come across the top of the supercharger and down there, and put the air cleaner just there in the fresh air, I think, but I don't know. And then I've got to make that bracket off the back of the engine to hold the back of the supercharger. I don't get rid of all my special wood, so I'll hold it up in a minute. I'll be minting down a bit of 2.5mm plate, and I've just cut a bit and just welded the inside of the flangulae, and then I shall weld that bit onto there as well in a minute when I suss out where it's got to fit. But I'll adjust it all like that, and that is going to continue there somewhere like that. So I'm going to just tack that on the inside and then take it over the car and see if I can get it in place. I better grind that up first as well, eh? So I'll give that a clean up, otherwise it will spit like a bastard. Right then, that's what I've come up with so far. Just in place. Let's do some wangly dangly bits around there, but that's all right, isn't it? Now just got to make some templates up for that paper or card, just to give me a bit of clearance on those leads, but I could get most of it there, so it's still got quite a lot of volume going in there. Remember, it's going to be blowing like a bastard, so it should be all right. And then somewhere in there's got to be the dipstick goes around there somewhere as well, so I'm going to have to reroute that because I pulled it out so I can get this in, but I need one of those, isn't it? Right, now I've got to slowly just make little bits up, so I've got to be able to get to them bolts still, so I've got to made a little bit up there. I'll just tack that in place and weld him in, and I've got to do the same there so I can get the bolt in, and then I can put a side bit in. I'll make a profile bit down there and then fill it in and make it gas flowed as best as I can. So that's what we got so far. With that, and now I've just got to fill the sides in. Well, I need to get some more metal because I've run out. I only found a little bit. I've probably got enough to do a couple of sides to make that nice shape there, and then I'm buggered. So just bleeding made a cardboard thingo. Still got quite a big huge spooky bit there, haven't I? And that goes down there nice, and it clears everything. So leads have got a bit of room, and I'll probably be able to get the dipstick back up through there somewhere, hopefully. But yeah, if I get some more metal, you see there better. How's that? Yeah, plenty of room. So next mission is to get some metal. Right then, here's my template I've just drawn around there with a marker, and then I'll cut that out and stick it on a bit of metal, draw around it, cut that out, and then weld that in. And then I've just got to do the sides and shit, isn't it? Look at that. Choice. So, there's a nice bit of thick plate I got off my mate up to the road. There's my template. So I'll just cut that out. See if we can make it fit. Right, sure. Marks it out. Now I'll cut it and stick it on. Hopefully. Right. So that's what I've got out of my template I made. And that goes in there like that. Something like that. I've got to do is TIG weld that in and then just give it a bit of a bash around here and there to bring it in, make another little bit up for that side. And then we should have one down nearly. Should trim that side up a bit as well. I might get rid of that. Just cut off that lump there, I think. Yeah, get rid of that lump. That'll look nice then. So I do that, it'll be done. Well, that's what I've got so far then. Excuse me, TIG welding, ain't done it for ages. Must get better, but it won't fall off. Now I've just got to fill that side in, fill that side in, and make it look all pretty, and then still got quite a big hole in there, look, for the air to go through. I won't finish it today. Better go indoors, cook the dinner. But yeah, it's getting there. Beautiful, beautiful, isn't it, Trisha? Yeah, so I've got to cut the templates for the side bits. That was that one, I've already put it on, so you missed that. And it's there, and that's the other one for there. So I'll cut that out. I'll cut out a bit of steel and then weld it on, isn't it? Right, so there's my plate in place. Got a magnet in there holding it, and I'll just get the old articulation machine and put it on. Then tap it down, and it should fit. And that'll be one nearly done. So now we've got the manifold bit made. So that's the outlet. So that's squirt up through there, squirt out that hole there, squirt through the intercooler, and then back around to the side. And it fits lovely. What I've got to do is take the supercharger, put it on. Can't get the bottom bolts in with the supercharger on. Bit of paint, it'd be mint as. There it is in place. Nice clearance down there for the HT leads, which is good. Nice bit of clearance there to get that bendy bit around there and down to there. Then it's the backy one. Nice. Right, I might have missed a little bit because I forgot to do this, but that's the other flange for the back of the supercharger. And I've just made a 30mm overlay thing on there as a starter for it, and that's going to go on there like that, down there. And now I'm going to try and make another rounded tube to come up and around and over for the intake and shit. But that'll give me a starting place, won't it? Shame you missed that, never mind. So, I had a brain fart. Got a bit of tubo, which is the right size for the rest of it. And I marked around that, like that. And then put a hole through there with a hole saw. And now I can weld that on there, like that. Which way does it go? That goes that way, like that. So that's going to go like that. So that should go something like that, and then I can cut that toppy bit down and put a bend on there, and then I've just got to, oh, don't drop bleeding phone, I've just got to make up a nice round bit for that, to get from wherever that pipe is, 60mm, down to the inch and a bit, inch and a half. But it should have the same volume because it's a big long slotty thing. So let's try and do that then, eh? Isn't it? Right, so what we've got a bit of, where's it go? A bit of that strip that I made for the other bit out of this. I'll just cut a thing and just pull the bend in it. Pull a little bend there and a little bend down there. Then that is our first segment to go on there. That'll weld on there, and I'll just tap it round, and I'll just fill the gaps in. Feel like Bad Chad, what's his name? Or I could be Terrible Tim, innit? And shit. So that's all welded on there, bloody hot. And I've welded that on the back, and I've just shrunk it a little bit to get a shape to it so it's curved inside. See that? Got a little bit more to do, and then I shall get couple of templates and make up those two bits there, weld them in. What I've got to do is just get the little bit of Dickie's belt sander out and just take off them edges in there, gas flow a little bit, and then I can trim that off. So I believe I've got to put a bend straight on there somewhere to get out and over the top of the supercharger. That should work nice, you see. So I'll make them templates up. Right, there's my little template, little bloody dogs here, and I've chucked it on there, and I've gone around it with a thick marker because I'm going to cut to the outside of that marker pen. Give me a few mil each side because I'm probably going to bash it around a bit to give it a bit of shape to go in there, just a bit of flowage, you know what I mean? And then we'll tack that one on. So we're getting there with a bit of manipulation. So I've just got to persuade that down into there. I'll just weld this side, I think, and then I can smash that side. So we can get it all looking nice. Right, got that bit in. Doesn't look very pretty at the minute, but I shall just grind all that up. Smooth it off. And then grind out the inside to make it all gas flow rated. Then do the next bit. There's the template I just made. And there's that bit to go in that bit. And there's that bit to cut that bit, isn't it? Right, here's a bit more super duper charger in. I don't know if I fluked this or whether I'm just clever, but I can actually get spanners on all the bolts. So I get spanners on all of these, which is nice, down there. And around the back, for putting that on, then I can get to the two top ones easily, and I believe if I move the HT leads, I can get to the bottom ones, which will be handy as, just in case they vibrate loose and shit. Also, I just started doing this rear bracket, so I've got myself a chunky lump of steel. I had a template I made ages ago, and I've just cut that out. It's pretty beefy. That's going to go on the back of one of the cylinder heads on those two spare bolt holes, because the cylinder heads can switch around either way, so them bolt holes were for all the stuff at the front, but they're at the back spare, so I'm going to use them. So that'll support the back of the supercharger. Now all I've got to do now is finish tattooing with that, probably extend this up a little bit, and then put two holes in it and drill and tap it, and then I shall make another piece to go on that manifold on the back, which will bolt onto here. That should support the supercharger. Then I'll put some oil in it and see if it fucking spins up in it. So I've just jumped a little bit. So I bought a tube, a load of bends. You get like about 3 or 4 bends out of each pipe. You just cut what you like. So I've got this bit, and I've just segmented it a bit more to make it a tighter 90. But it's going to go on top of the supercharger. So I'm just going to tack that on and see what it's like. Then I'm going to have to cut that, I believe, there somewhere, and then extend that. Maybe that bit that's in the saw down there, just to get down so as it can go down past the other pipe. I'll just tack this together now so as I can get a better look at it. Right, isn't it? There's that bendy bit made up of all segments. And that is going to pop on there like that somehow. Just got to make sure the bonnet's still going to shut, but that should hopefully go there. And then across there and down there. and hopefully miss that pipe. So I might mark that. Just tack it on, see what it's like, see if the bonnet's shut. Here we go. Right. Just bolted on there now. I think I'll move to that one quickly, because that's got to come down and round there. It's a more difficult piece, and this one will have to go over the top. But first, I'll see if the bonnet's going to shut. Better move all this shit first, isn't it? From my bag of Benzy bits, what I'm going to do, I think, is that I'm going to cut that there, and then it should go down there like that. And it's over 90, and that sort of gets me pointing in the right direction, I hope. And if it all works out good in the hood, should just go under that pulley. Probably, might do, but we'll see. So, got that bit on there now, pointing in the right direction, and with a few other little bits and bobs like that, probably can probably get around there. Maybe cut a bit off that bend, and then that'll go down into the tinted cooler, which should be nice. And that'll be that one done. And then this one, I might have to squish it, I'm not sure, just in case it's a bonnet, but it might be all right, because I think I've got clearance. Anywho, I'll just try and connect that up there, then I'll put the bit on there for the air filter, and then Bob's your auntie. Right then, there we go. One side done. I've just got to clean it all up, and it's connected to the intertating cooling unit down there. Need some clamps, and then the other side I've already got. I've just got to probably extend it because I'm getting rid of that mass airflow sensor thing. And then this one, so this will go something like that. Get my bleeding hands out of the way, something like that over there. And I might have to squish that pipe, I'm not sure, or go a bit longer, come down a little bit, and we should be clear of the bonnet, and then the air filter will just sit down there. Then I've got to finish off that bracket at the back. I might do that tomorrow, because now I want to go and relax, probably get a takeaway and some wine or beer or something. Innit? Right, I do believe we're getting somewhere, so I've just cut a couple of more bits of pipe and a bit of old pipe, recycling, and a bit wiggly wobbly, and that goes all around there. All I've got to do now is I'll put a bracket off of that there, up onto this pipe, and that'll secure that. That one doesn't need anything because it's solid as, and then I just got to go down there and make that. I think we'll be in business and shit, and that'll be pulling in nice cold air down there. Look at that. Fits like a glove. And the bonnet shuts, which is even better. Right. So, that's all tacked together. We've now got a bracket on there, and then we've got the bracket tacked onto the back. Just got to take it off and weld it all on properly. That goes on that huge bracket I've made. That should support the back of this, and hopefully, if I get my little gizmo here, my level, beep beep, we should be at let's change that around. Hang on a minute, let me just change the mode. How the fuck do you change that? There we go, that's it. Right, take that off. $99.3, and then that next one there, excuse the camera work, $95.5. What's this one? Oh, turned it off again. Let me try that, and I'll calibrate this little gizmo. So, oh, there we go. So that's at 0.04 on that pulley, And I'll just put this down and I'll move it. Unless I can grab it like that without turning it off. Yeah, I can. Right, put it on there. And there we go. 0.4. So I've got the right angle of the dangle. And I'm pretty sure I've already done it. The straight edge. It's on you, stay there, you bastards. And across all that lot, we run, plug it on the right pulleys, that is. Let's get rid of that bleeding thing. There we go. And across there, we've got the alignment as well, so hopefully it's true as. And that first bit there I did with my iPhone, which shows how good the app is for the level thing. Pretty fucking good, isn't it? What I'll do now is I'll take all this off and weld it all up properly, clean it up, and I might as well paint them as well so it don't go rusty. And then that's those bits done. Very nice. So I've got that off. Now I'm just going to weld this together. I might have to shrink that. I'll weld up to there and shrink that down, otherwise it will look poop. That one's got a bit of a gap in it, and I'll have to do a bit of filling there, but tough shit. And then I'll weld that all the way along there on the back, and then give it a good clean up, and I'll paint that one. Be a bit closer, a little bit. Well, there's the first one all nearly ready for primer. It's not too bad. It'll be nice satin black. The whole engine's going to be satin black. Everything. Then I'll get that one off and I'll clean that one up. Grind those welds off and give that a paint as well. Then they're done. Then I just got to modify this one, which was. Fucking hell, it's alive. Yeah, that one, which goes on this side, and I did put that on there for a blow-off valve because I didn't know whether I'd need it or not, but it can't hurt, can it? Surely. But yeah, I've just got to change that to go from the 60mm pipe up to whatever that is, like 80 odd mil. And I'll make an adapter for that. Then that side will be done, but I won't worry about that in a minute. It's mainly the supercharger side I'm worried about. So I shall get them ready for paint. Right, that's in primer. Just waiting for it to dry properly, then I'll just give it a bit of satin black, which I'm just heating up in front of the heat pump there, look. Because it's too bleeding cold in here. So I'm gonna have a cup of tea. How's that? Very nice. One painted black. Very good. And the other one, over here, it's in primer. As soon as that's dry, I'll chuck a bit of black on there. Let them dry overnight, and then next week I should be able to chuck them back together and see what it looks like. And there's that one, all painted. Should go nice and satin, hopefully. There's that one looking over here. Yeah, just starting to dull off a bit, so that's good. But in that bleeding progress has been made, I'll just drop that in there. I painted it. So I painted it and then bolted that side all together, made a gasket. Then I've just got to do this side. This is just hanging in there, that one that's loose. So I'm going to undo that, and I'll make a gasket for that side. And we put that pipe on and bolt it all in place, and I can line it up, get the belt back on. It's got oil in it now, I chuck the oil in, and the dipstick's done. And there you go. So I'm just going to whip this little bastard back off again. Hopefully, like that. And then I'm just going to make the gasket for here. So I'll do that. I'm using an old cereal packet, I think, because that'll do. It's only for air. No fuel or anything in there. And then I'll bolt this all together, and we can give it a trial, isn't it? Right, there we have it. That's got a gasket in there now. It's all bolted up. It's all bolted on down there. It's all tight. Dipsticks in and working, sort of thing. I had to trim the end of it off because it wouldn't go down because there was a twist on the end. But I bent this tube a little bit with a pipe bender, It made it just a little bit too tight for that, so I chopped it off because it don't really affect it. But dipstick works. Everything clears, air filters on. That's connected to the intercooler, just needs all the clamps. Belt's all running true. Everything's tight, so potentially I could spin it over and see what it sounds like, but I haven't got any petrol and battery's flat, and I can't remember how to connect all that shit up over there. I have to go and dig out the wiring, but that's just a temporary. It's the old ECU, which I modified to get rid of the immobiliser for the Range Rover, but it don't go with the supercharger on it. It just blows out the candles, which is absolute dog shit. So when I got the link and make up a loom for it, we can see if I can get a tune out of it. It should sound lovely, because this supercharger is different to the other one. It's more of a screw, so I think they're a little bit quieter and much more oomph for your buck. That's a Eaton M112, I believe, off of a Jaguar. But yeah, it all goes in there lovely. Once the rest of the engine's all painted and the engine bay's done, it look mint as. Happy with that, happy as bleeding pig in shit, innit?